he spent 100 grand with a company, I think they're out of California, and brought the stuff in, and it was something that I would have sold him for probably 60 or 65,000.
In this video, we're going to be talking about how a customer lost big on silver and gold, almost $45,000 lost, and how your gold and silver dealer can help. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Empire Precious Metals. Stormy here. If you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a guy in a bucket talking about precious metals. So make sure you blast that subscribe button, get the bell notification clicked. That way you get updated with any new content. Today we are talking about a situation where a customer lost anywhere between $40,000 to $45,000 on a silver and gold deal with an online retailer. And I'm going to share with you this story in an interview with Tim Puro of Puro Coins up in Rutland, Vermont. And I'll put his information down below in the description. But this, to me, was very, very shocking. Now, there are a lot of online retailers who many people in the stacking community use. And I will share with you the 8 different dealers that I use to source all of the silver and gold that you are seeing on my videos and on my auctions. But I'll get to that after the interview with Tim Puro from Puro Coins. But in that segment, when I'm talking with Tim, I was completely shocked at the loss that this one customer had experienced of $40,000 to $45,000 in a purchase that they made on silver and gold. Let's jump right into that story, and then we're going to discuss after that the 8 dealers who I recommend that you stick with when you're buying your silver and gold. All right, I'm back with Tim from Puro Coins. How's it going, Tim?
Just great.
I was about to walk out, and then you and I were talking about some businesses that are online who have not necessarily ripped people off, more or less, but in a ways they've ripped some people off, and you've been able to help some of your customers with, I guess, getting back some of the money that they essentially lost. Do you mind talking about one of these recent experiences?
Yeah, well, in general, if you're hearing radio ads or seeing big ads in the paper or in the newspaper or magazines and things like that, selling bullion, most likely you can buy it less expensively from your local dealer or the reputable online dealers.
Right.
But as an example, a customer of mine who was a banker, which blows my mind, he spent 100 grand with a company, I think they're out of California, and brought the stuff in, and it was something that I would have sold him for probably 60 or 65,000.
Oh my God.
So I was so bummed out because he was a nice old guy. He was in his 80s, and I felt that this company was preying on
the older people.
Yeah, and I felt so bad. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot and see if I can get his money back. And I was in contact with them. Had phone conversations, emails, all kinds of stuff, and they were so resistant to doing it. Mm-hmm. And then I got involved. I can't remember. There's like a numismatic group, a bunch of dealers that when customers get screwed over, that they intervene and try to help out. And I asked them, and they made some messages there, and shockingly enough, he got his money back.
I'm surprised that the company actually did. I guess they just don't want the negative publicity, because that would be far worse.
Yeah.
To go that route. And to your point, very first, it's funny that you say this, because the very first gold that I ever bought, it was like in the mid 2000s, like 2006 or 2007,
Mm-hmm.
and there was an ad, and it was saying why you should buy gold, but you could tell it was geared towards senior citizens. Now I was only 25 at the time, but you
Right.
have like these older people reading a pamphlet, they're smiling, and they're like, oh yes, we should buy gold or whatever. And I was curious, so I bought it, but you could tell that they're totally going after like older people who don't necessarily know any better.
Well, I saw that they advertise in like the American Legion magazine and the VFW magazine.
Yeah.
A lot of old veterans, and it's that's even worse.
That's worse.
Yeah,
That's worse.
That's even worse. So
What let me ask you, why did your customer bring that in the first place? He just said, "Hey, did I get screwed over here?" Like, what was he?
Well, I think I don't know if I think he was. Yeah, I don't think he was showing off. It's someone I hadn't done business with before.
Right.
And then after that, of course, I got his business. So I think he was, and that happens a lot. People come in and say, they'll bring in an ad and say, should I go for this? And, another thing is, I think when you respond to those ads, the people are relentless. The sellers, they call you. They if a deal is too good to be true, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true.
Right.
So
I've had one of those recent experiences. I'll leave the company name out, but they had an ad for an ounce of gold at spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of my subscribers who came to me with this ad, and he said that he got it, and I said, all right, I'll try it. I tried it, no problem, got the coin, but then, yes, they do start calling you. I like to mess with them, though. When they call me, I mess with them a little bit, or, just ask them what they're wearing, stuff like that. Just totally.
You should record this stuff. I hope you do.
You know what? The problem is, they'll call me on my cell phone. It needs to be hooked up to my computer, but I think you're right. And I'm in a one-party consent state where I actually can record phone conversations without the other party knowing.
Right.
So
that would be awesome.
I think I should. Totally jerky boys mode. Just start calling them, in fact, and mess with them.
Yeah.
Have you had other customers come in from any other companies aside from the one that you mentioned? And again, you don't have to mention names of the companies, but has this happened before? Have you seen it with other companies?
Yeah, it has, and I think I've helped maybe one or two other people. They were much smaller transactions, but there's just 4 or 5 of them out there that I could just see. It's a bunch of salesmen in a room answering the phone, smoking cigarettes, and I just got this guy for that much and this guy for that much.
Right.
So
Just right after like Glengarry Glen Ross.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, everybody, make sure that you do your homework and shop around. Make sure you support your local businesses. And Tim, again, I appreciate the time. All of the information will be found below in the description. And I'll talk to you real soon.
Perfect.
Absolutely shocking. $40,000 to $45,000 lost. Now, it's no surprise that some of these online retailers, they are prone to gouging customers, especially the customers who are not necessarily tech savvy or don't really have the time or patience to really start researching through the internet as to where they could find a good deal. And the other thing too, when people are buying silver and gold and they don't really have a lot of experience, it's really hard to see who's reputable, who isn't. Where do you buy from? Is it okay to buy from eBay? All of these different things. So it can be very overwhelming for somebody who doesn't necessarily know what they are doing. That's why there are some of these companies that pretty much prey on older people or people who are brand new into stacking. Some of these dealers I'm going to share with you. I have 8 of them who I use primarily for the sourcing of my silver and gold for my channel. The first one who I will recommend, and this is in no particular order, is APMEX. Now, a lot of people will complain that APMEX happens to be too expensive. When you do compare APMEX's prices with a lot of the online retailers, they do tend to have the highest premiums. However, the one thing about APMEX that I do like and why I continue to buy from them is that they have a very large selection. You can find just about anything that you are looking for on APMEX's site. You also do have a little bit faster shipping time in my experiences with APMEX. But again, you have to weigh those pros and cons. Do you want to save a little bit of money and have a longer shipping time? Or do you want to pay a little bit more and then get your stuff shipped to you a little bit faster? Again, you kind of have to decide what it is that you want to do and what's best for you. But the other company that I buy from quite often is JM Bullion. Now, JM Bullion also is a trusted dealer in the the stacking community. They do have a robust website, a lot of silver and gold for sale on there, lots of different things as well, notes and things like that. I did buy some of my notes similar to these on their website. JM, they have a sister company in which they purchased about a year and a half or two ago, and that was Provident Metals, also a trusted site, Provident Metals. The one thing that you're going to notice, though, and something that I've noticed, is that you're starting to see less inventory both on JM's site and Provident. Ever since JM bought Provident, it appears that they have less selection, but it's kind of hit or miss with them. But JM, Provident, those are also very trusted. Another online retailer that I use is Bold Precious Metals. Bold Precious Metals, hit or miss when it comes to the pricing. Sometimes they are aggressively priced, and other times they have higher premiums. It really all depends on what the silver and gold item is that you are looking to buy. Then when it comes to just individual dealers, people that I actually am doing business with, just small businesses and not those big online retailers, they happen to be on Instagram, one of which happens to be on YouTube as well. And you probably know him as Guido Stackin. Guido has been a friend of mine for at least, I would say, 3 years now. I've come to know him personally very, very well. Very trusted dealer on both Instagram and on YouTube. He has his auctions on YouTube, so you definitely want to check those out Monday evenings. But Guido Stackin does a lot of silver and gold sales both on Instagram and on his YouTube auctions. I highly recommend that you check him out. I do source some of my items from him because he is very competitive when it comes to the pricing. Also on Instagram is Tommy Haynes over at Stacking NYC. Tommy is a really well-known dealer over on Instagram. Definitely check out his page. Tell him that I sent you. You could trust him. Very fast shipping, very professional. I've been sourcing a lot of items from Tommy for quite some time now, so you definitely want to check him out. And then also on Instagram is FIDA LLC, also known as Sean D'Souza, but FIDA LLC, you could definitely check him out. Let him know that Stormy sent you. I also source a lot of my items from him. Another very large retailer, or sorry, I should say reseller of silver and gold on Instagram. And oftentimes, just like Tommy from Stacking NYC, FIDA's prices tend to be less than some of these online retailers that you see online, like AppMax and JM Bullion, etc. So you definitely can get some really good deals from them. And then obviously, last and certainly not least, would be Steve from US Coin Trust. He is my local coin shop. I highly recommend that you check him out. Give him a call. Let him know that I sent you. I've been doing a lot of videos and a lot of business with him over the last 2.5 years. So definitely check out Steve from US Coin Trust. So those happen to be the 8 bullion dealers who I have been using for the last 2.5, 3 years now. Actually, since before YouTube, in fact, maybe even 5 years, but more heavily so now that I am consistently selling on Instagram and YouTube. So definitely check those sources out and let them know that Stormy sent you. And I'm curious as to the different dealers that you are using. Let us know in the comments down below. And I would like to quickly thank these elite channel supporters. And if you haven't already become a channel member, please check out the awesome perks and join today. With that, this is Empire Precious Metals. Until next time, long live the Empire.